Hey gorgeous, it's Ker-leen. Thank you so much for tuning back into my channel. In today's video, I will be sharing some new perfumes with you. And I have been anxiously awaiting to share my thoughts on these fragrances. I did take a pre-birthday trip with the family for a little bit and I could not wait to film this video. So without further ado, if you're interested, please keep watching. Hey friend, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. I'm so excited to spend some time with you today. If you're new here on this channel, I talk luxury, I do review videos, I share my fragrance journey, I also sprinkle in a little bit of lifestyle, and in every single video there is some encouragement. So if any of those things sound good to you, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and also be sure to turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. The first fragrance I wanted to talk about today is a new one from Paris Corner. I'm about a week or two behind the train. As I mentioned, I was on a little trip. I've been planning an event. You, my friends, know that I've recently released a 30-day devotional, so life has been a little different, but in a very good way, and also a little bit busy lately. So that's why I'm behind on this one. This one is Paris Corner's newest fragrance in the Khair line of perfumes, Peach Delulu. The notes for Peach Delulu are very, very interesting. When I first saw this fragrance, I thought it was going to be a very light, bright, juicy, fruity, peach and guava forward fragrance. Of course, the guava note is what I was most excited about, but this fragrance was definitely different when I finally received it and smelled it compared to my expectations. As you can see, this fragrance has a little bit of everything. There are sweet accords, there are warm accords, spicy accords, fruity accords. It's quite complex and quite interesting. So let's get into my thoughts on this fragrance. So as I just mentioned, I expected this fragrance to smell very fruity and fun, light, bright, playful, you know, the typical. Now this is supposed to smell like a niche fragrance called Peach's Revenge, and I do not own that fragrance. So if you do own that fragrance, and if you have this one, chime in the comments down below and let us know what you think. Do you think this smells like Peach's Revenge? How are they different? How are they similar? Let us know down below. So I imagine those of you that have Peach's Revenge had different expectations than me, but my expectations were from a pure standpoint, just really interested in the notes. The colors really drew me in. It looked very light, bright, and playful. When I sprayed this out, it was nothing like I imagined. When I first sprayed this one out, I immediately got a very vanillic and creamy and sweet, super sugary sweet fragrance that was very guava forward. So it felt really dense, it felt spicy, it felt warm. So this is, interestingly enough, a warm and subtly spicy, fruity fragrance in my opinion. And when I first saw this, I know that they target the US market a lot. I was wondering why they were coming out this fragrance right now, and now I get it. This is a warm, subtly spicy, fruity fragrance. So it's not light and bright like I had imagined, which would make it very nice for the fall time and possibly even the winter time if you like wearing fruity fragrances in the winter time. The more I got to know this fragrance, the more I started picking up on some of the other notes. So let's go ahead and spray this again. This fragrance smells very good to me, but like I said, it is not what I was expecting. This one, in terms of performance, outperforms all of the other fragrances in this Khair line of perfumes. It is so strong in my opinion. I sprayed it in a room and nearly 24 hours later, I could smell it still as if I had just sprayed it. So this fragrance definitely performs. It's long lasting and it projects very strongly and loudly for several hours. So in my opinion, this one outperforms the other fragrances in this line. Now that it's been a little while since I've had it, when I first spray it out, I get that burst of cardamom. It's a very zingy and light spice, which is probably why they say this is like a soft spicy. So it doesn't feel quite as intense and warm and spicy as, say, a cinnamon or a nutmeg, but there's definitely a light spice. The ginger is also not overly zingy or zesty. So again, this one is not like your super fresh fragrance. It has a little bit of a zing and a light spice in the opening, but it's nothing like what you would typically get from a ginger note or from a fragrance that's light and bright and juicy. For me, the spice starts to settle pretty quickly after I first spray this, and then it gets into those fruits. And these fruits smell very overly ripe, and to my nose, I pick up more of the guava than the peach. I don't think this one is very peach forward in my opinion. I think it's heavy on the guava, which I quite like. I've been obsessed with guava, anything guava, so I really like the interesting guava spin in this fragrance. I do know that this has similar notes to Peach's Revenge, and I did see a peach note in that fragrance. So if you own the original, let us know, is it more peach forward or more guava forward to your nose? So friends, overall, I think this is a really, really nice fragrance. I'm gonna be honest though, it's not my favorite from the line, and it is one that I feel I'm gonna have to get to know a little bit better. So I'm gonna give it some time, let it marinate, and I'm gonna come back to this one mid-fall and see how I feel about it. As of right now, it's not giving what I was expecting, which is a peach forward, fruity, fun, light, bright fragrance. Instead, this one has a warmer feel. It feels very dense. It feels super duper sugary sweet, and there's a subtle spice to it, so that gives it some interest as well. I don't pick up any rose, which is one of the listed notes, but I do pick up a really dense and creamy essence when I spray this fragrance out, which I'm attributing to the caramel. I do think it smells very complex like a niche fragrance would, and therefore I think that merits giving it a bit more time to really understand it. So that's what I'm going to do with Peach Delulu. I don't currently have anything like this one in my perfume collection, so I am going to get to know it a little bit more, and I will definitely be back with more thoughts on this one in a maceration update. Another thing I wanted to mention is that this one shares the DNA of the Khair line of perfumes. It does have something in it that smells similar to the other fragrances from this line, and I own almost all of them, and that's why I am picking up that something similar. So I do find that quite interesting that this line has its own DNA. Another thing I wanted to mention is that this one is not a mass appealing scent. I think this is going to be polarizing. I think you're either going to love it or hate it. And typically niche fragrances are very complex and definitely opposite of mass appealing. So keep that in mind. And this one to my nose smells a little bit more like a true Arabian perfume. It doesn't smell like it's been packaged for a Western market. It does smell like a very strong, bold, beautiful Arabian fragrance as compared to the other fragrances from this line of perfumes. So for now, those are my thoughts on Peach Delulu. I'll definitely be back with an update for you all. The next fragrance I wanted to share is a fragrance that I repurchased. I owned this fragrance in the smaller size several years back, I think maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, and I have been meaning to pick up the largest size of this perfume ever since because I fell in love with this perfume. It is so whimsical, so ethereal, and it's definitely more of a spring and summertime fragrance, but because I live in a very warm and humid climate, I'm gonna be wearing this in the fall as well, y'all. It's one that I have not been able to stop thinking about ever since I ran out of it. This is Jo Malone's Wild Bluebell. So Wild Bluebell has a very, very simple note list. The notes are beautiful. This fragrance is bright, it's dewy, it's subtly green, it's fresh, it's sweet but not overly sweet, and it's also aquatic, so that when I wear this, I just smell so fresh and clean, very sweet, very beautiful, and ultra feminine. This one smells extremely princess-like. I actually took it on my trip with me and I wore it all throughout the trip because I wanted to make some more beautiful scent memories with it, and I'm super happy I did that. So this fragrance has green notes, it has a dewdrop, and I feel like I'm starting to become acquainted with the note dewdrop because dewdrop is also in another one of my well-loved fragrances, Ethery by Lattafa. There's a note called Bluebell. It's a floral note. There's clove in here, which I don't really pick up a lot of clove, so I'm assuming it's more of a supportive note. There's persimmon in here, there's peach, there are powdery accords and musk. And just like the previous fragrance, this one is not very peach forward. Instead, I feel like they did a great job of blending together the persimmon and peach accords to create something that's fruity but nondescript. What I find extremely interesting about the persimmon note that's in this perfume is that that fruit has a taste and texture that is similar to cantaloupe or apricot, which I find very interesting because, again, that reminds me of Ethery by Lattafa and what I love about that fragrance. That fragrance is very juicy, but it doesn't smell like food. It's bright, it's light, it's ultra feminine, and it very much reminds me of Wild Bluebell. Wild Bluebell, though, has this super gorgeous, unique floral note, the Bluebell note, that keeps it from being simply a fruity fragrance. It's so much more than that. It's fruity, it's dewy, it's subtly green, it's sweet like honey, it's fresh, it's feminine. It feels like a thirst-quenching fragrance, but that Bluebell note, that gorgeous, unique floral comes in to keep this one from smelling food-like. It is such a gorgeous, gorgeous perfume, and it makes me feel like a princess every single time I have it on. And as you can tell, I've been thoroughly enjoying this perfume. I could not be happier to have this perfume. It's so pretty, and it's one that it just smells so unique, so unique. I've never smelled anything like this. This is Wild Bluebell by Jo Malone. So we have come to the end of the video, friend. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for your support. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like on your way out because that helps my channel continue to grow and to reach other fragrance lovers. And if you're here and you're not subscribed, but you love fragrance content, I make quite a bit of it on this channel, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss another video. A quick reminder, I do have a 30-day devotional called Align and Reign that is for those of you who are ready for a complete glow up. You want to get closer to God and you want to get your mind right and get off to a good start, build some healthy routines. This devotional is for you. One of the things that often keeps us from reaching our goals and living out our purpose is being in alignment. So what is it that you're supposed to be doing? Are you doing those things on a daily basis? And how are those things contributing to your larger goals and the plans that God has for you? That's what alignment means in this case. And when we're aligned, we are then truly positioning ourselves to reign. So if you're interested, the link will be in my description box. It is available on Amazon. Keep letting your beautiful light shine. Keep showing up as your truest and most unique self because there is only one you. As always, I will be over here doing the exact same thing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one very soon. Mwah!